I secretly installed cameras inside the house because I suspected the nanny was not taking good care of my child. Later, my wife and I turned on the computer together. The image on the screen was very clear. Seeing everything made us feel slightly relieved. The next day, while I was at work, I kept secretly monitoring the house. The nanny had no idea she was being watched. She completely exposed her greedy and careless nature. She sat on the sofa eating bread. Her attention stayed on the television the entire time. She completely ignored the sleeping baby. This scene made me extremely angry. I immediately wanted to call the nanny to confront her, but my manager stopped me. He said that if I called the nanny, the surveillance would be exposed. So I forced myself to calm down. Then I switched the camera to the bedroom. I saw that my son was still asleep. Only then did I feel slightly relieved. After that, I continued handling my work. But at that moment, the nanny was suddenly woken up by her phone ringing. Someone wanted to hire her for a part-time job. The pay was $50 per hour. When she heard the price, she immediately agreed. After that, she quietly walked toward the bedroom. She saw that the child was still sleeping. Then she left the house. She was afraid of waking the child and losing this chance to make money. Before leaving, she finished the remaining milk. Then she cleaned up the trash on the table. After that, she left. Not long after the nanny left, my child suddenly woke up. He began crying loudly. At that moment, I had just finished a meeting. I finally had the chance to check the camera again. On the screen, I saw my son crying desperately in the crib, and the nanny was already gone. I panicked instantly, so I immediately called my wife. After hearing the news, my wife was extremely worried. She immediately called the nanny, but the nanny phone was already turned off. My wife reported this situation to me, so I immediately stood up and prepared to rush home. But on the way, my car was rear-ended. I could not return home immediately. An angry Lisa immediately called her sister, after understanding the situation. Her sister got into a car and headed home. She also asked her daughter to search online for a locksmith. At the same time, she called 911 for help. Not long after, the police and Lisa's sister arrived at the house together. But when they reached the bedroom door, there was no sound inside the room. The sister worried that something had already happened to the child. At that moment, the locksmith also arrived at the scene. After some effort, he finally opened the door. Everyone rushed into the bedroom, but what they saw next shocked everyone present.